Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Hey, today is June 6th, 2021. This is episode 321. We're looking at Serial by Terry Moore. This is issue number 4 in the series. It comes out at $3.99 and it's out from Abstract Studios. On the cover here, we've got our hero, Zero. Zoe, she is acting as detective in here, trying to track down the killer of one of her childhood friends. And we'll go into Zoe's character in a little bit here. A nice pose on here on this gruesome looking gargoyle, which has got some kind of bird in its clutches here. And then we see a live bird behind here just for a little bit of levity, as other birds are kind of flying around there as well. Pouring rain, nice shot. This doesn't exactly happen in the story, but she is on the lookout for this serial killer that has so far taken down, I think, 3 during these issues, but she's killed more before. Okay, we always start off our Terry Moore's issues with a quote and a little picture there. This is actually the killer brushing her teeth. So that's why you see all the drool coming out as so. This is really easy to go through the credits on here because Terry Moore writes it, he draws it, he does the lettering, the inking, obviously, any kind of special coloring in here. It's obviously black and white, but you can see that's been shaded in as well on there. But let's get into the story a little bit. Okay, Zoe's been out trying to track down this serial killer who seems to be killing people that have committed sexual crimes or crimes in nature that have something to do with sexual, maybe not necessarily breaking the law, but not being wholesome, let's just say. And actually, Zoe's friend was not a criminal, but she was married to somebody that was trying to sexually harass an employee. Now, just a quick word about Zoe here. She's perpetually about 10 years old. She was taken over, possessed, if you will, by the devil in Rachel Rising, and was kind of a killer for quite a while. So she's kind of learned how to kill and has no qualms about it. Once she was killed to remove the devil, and then she was brought back to life, but she's perpetually stayed 10 years old, even though she's really, truly in her early 30s. So she's got the mind of a 32-year-old trapped in the body of a 10-year-old. And so she can do everything, and she's pretty intelligent on this as well. Just keeping up to date with everybody. So it starts out, the police are also investigating these killings, and they're figuring out that Zoe is also investigating the killings. In fact, she taped one of their interviews with an employee from the pizza parlor that the first guy was killed who worked at there. So they got the lowdown on that, and she got the information from the employee of what kind of was going on a little bit. But Zoe's pretty sharp. She's figured out that they have one of the rings on the neighbor's door, so she's able to see video of the killer. Now, the killer herself is no slouch. She's a master disguise, can change personality, clothes, looks, everything. Has no problems switching from one to another and seems to revel in it. She's got her own special garage with different vehicles in it and a whole makeup area and an apartment as well with the same. Okay. So we show Zoe, she has seen that car in the video. She's trying to track down what kind of car it is exactly, and she has pinpointed it using the sources at the library. She lives out of her van, an old VW bus, and since she's small and by herself, it probably works pretty well, and she kind of has to keep moving because she's obviously not getting any older, and when everybody else is. So It's one of those predicaments that have just kind of continued to follow her throughout her life. But we get lots of scenes here. She's actually got someone stalking her that's up to no good. She's able to turn the tables. We see that our killer has been doing her hobby is glass blowing, in which she always puts a memento of her killing in within the glass and gives it to her mother at a nursing home. And you can see her; she's practicing her looks and such, and changing her personalities as she looks unapprovingly on at this couple here. So I don't know what the story is with this, but maybe we'll find out later. And the killer once again has changed her skin, and it looks like she's on her way out to maybe find another victim. In the meantime, out in the woods, we get these nice side shots here. Zoe's got her stalker kind of tied up for the moment, and she's torturing him to find out, emotionally and physically, to find out why he's stalking her. And she seems to be right on everything, that he is some kind of creep, and Zoe has no problem putting holes in him with the drill. And that's where we end our issue. So hopefully we'll find out more about this guy that she's got strung up. Maybe there's a little bit more action in there. But in the meantime, we kind of wait and see. Now, this is probably going to run at least 12 issues. Originally, it was going to be 10, but it's been really going on strong, selling out. He's done multiple printings on all the issues so far as I know. And you can tell if the serial is in red, that's a first printing. If it's in black, that's a second printing. There you go. There's a little tip for you. But I do recommend this. Obviously, I love it. Let's quickly take a look at some of the other things that Terry Moore's worked on. He's got Rachel Rising. This is an omnibus now. I think it's like 7 trade paperbacks put together. Then he has the Motor Girl omnibus, and I believe that's 10 floppies put together. This came out a couple of years ago. Rachel Rising came out about 7 years ago, I believe. This was a graphic novel that came out just before Serial, and it was just a 72-page one issue, no floppies. Echo, I love this book. This has really got me going on Terry Moore, in fact. That and Rachel Rising. And this is a complete edition, available in the omnibus. Strangers in Paradise is his all-time classic. It ran for many, many years. You can see he's got all these different volumes of it. And then he relaunched it again a few years back with a different type of storyline on it, integrating a lot of characters from some of his other books. And finally, you can find out how to draw. Terry Moore's got his own artist book, How to Draw. The expanded edition came out in April. We review the hardcover on this channel. It's also available in softcover. In fact, you might not be able to get the hardcover because I believe that was a limited run on those. So maybe just softcover only for that. This is a recommend. It is getting the Indie Comics Jones good excavating seal of approval because I dug this one up and I dig it. All right, you should too. I really recommend it. Okay, thanks for stopping by. As always, please please subscribe if you haven't. Please leave comments. Thank you for seeing this review. We'll see you next time at the Temple of Tomes. As always, this is Indie Comics Jones bidding you adieu.